That's right. Fanboy JunKtion today, we're going to be talking about martial arts films. And actually more about whether martial arts films are dead as a genre. See, some of my friends, we always talk about random things and everything like that. I've had this conversation with a couple of you guys. If you're watching, sorry, I'm going to play rerun. Some of you new guys probably never heard me talk about this, and you can agree or disagree. Remember, comment below if you don't. Whatever. Anyway, point being, martial arts films, or the martial arts genre in general. Has it died? Now, let me go ahead and preface this with in America. We're talking about American films. The short answer is yes. Yes, the martial arts film genre is dead in America. Period. The end. It's done. It's gone. And let me tell you why. The reason why it's dead is simple. Long production times. You may go, well, what the heck is he talking about? How did long production times kill martial arts movies? Well, it's pretty easy. The way I always like to say it is this. The most influential martial arts action hero of the last 20 years was played by Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Take a moment, think about it. Keanu Reeves, that's right. They took 6 months and trained him to be this kind of martial arts badass for The Matrix, and then continued to train him, made him really solid for the Matrix sequels. Not commenting about the movies, I'm just saying him as an actor. He sold it very well, more so in the later two than in the first one, being a martial arts character. So therein lies the problem. In the 70s and 80s, you talk about the time of Bruce Lee, even though he was more like the first one, who really knew what he was doing. And he didn't even make it here in America. I think a lot of people kind of mistaken that. He tried to make it here. He was in a television show, which he barely got any screen time in. He did a couple movies as side characters, but he couldn't make it here. So he went to China, and only after being in China and doing record box office for 3 or 4 films did America finally, or Warner Brothers, go, hey, let's go grab this guy and bring him in our movie. And yes, now when you watch the DVD, it's Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. But if you watch the trailers, it's like he's the third tier character. John Saxon and Jim Kelly, who hadn't even been in a movie before, are always top billed with him. So even if you look at the original movie poster, he's about that big. And Jim Kelly and John Saxon and all this other stuff around him. So even though Bruce Lee is considered the greatest martial artist of all time, and I say considered because somebody would be dumb enough to argue with me, I say he is, period, the end. Point being that even Bruce Lee, as popular as he is now, could not carry a film of his own in America. They had to team with other people. So my point is this, is that in American cinema, a long time ago, guys like Chuck Norris, Van Damme, Steven Seagal, if anybody knows who Jeff Speakman is, Jeff Speakman, these guys were trained martial artists, lifelong martial artists. We're not going to get the technicalities about Van Damme. We're just going to go with this. And they had a certain set of skills, acting not being one of them, but they had these martial arts skills. So with that alone and some charisma, they were able to get in and make these martial arts movies. But as time went on, and you got the Asian invasion about the mid-90s, that all changed. One, you started getting all these guys being pulled from Asia, coming here, and the martial arts fight scenes got faster, and then they started training people to be in movies. And what happened is you started seeing this martial arts films kind of decline. In addition, in the mid-90s and then mainly more in the 2000s, as the more realistic hero comes, now it's everybody knows martial arts. It's not just the super agents like James Bond or Chuck Norris as Lone Wolf McQuaid or Van Damme as the Crazy Twins or Steven Seagal, I'm in the CIA, and because I'm in the CIA, suddenly I'm an Aikido master, which, whatever. The point is that with long production times, they could train the actors to be these martial arts badasses. And that killed the genre. I mean, like I said, Keanu Reeves, who was mainly a romantic comedy and kind of crazy comedic and, oh, yeah, all right, yeah, became Neo. I mean, that's no easy feat, even for somebody who trains a long time. He actually pulled it off. And that's why the genre died. I mean, when I was in high school, I read the Bourne Identity books, Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum. They were amazing books. And when I heard that Matt Damon was cast as Jason Bourne, I just about... Because it's a dumb idea. I think I put my head wrong on that one. Anyway, it was a dumb idea in my mind, because how could Matt Damon, who'd been in like Ocean's 11 as the kid and been in a couple of comedies, and he was an okay actor, but he'd never done anything like that before. Well, they trained him in Collie for several months, got him in shape, taught him how to do everything, and he pulled it off, and he was great. I didn't see the last one, so I can't comment, but with the exception of the bad camera work, the second one was really good, and the first one I thought was really good as well. So that's kind of what happened. On top of that, actors who have been doing it for so long, your Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, they started bringing them over. And I don't want to go too deep into this, but when I start talking about this, it'll become more apparent. There's still racism in America, and there's still racism in Hollywood. And I'll show you why. And we'll just stick with the Asian thing. We get into other racism later. If you look at all the movies that Jet Li, Jackie Chan did here in America, with the exception, I think, of a kids movie, none of them ever got top billing. They always shared billing with somebody else. Jet Li, Aaliyah, Romeo Must Die, Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker. Those movies were not made... I mean, Owen Wilson was good, but they knew the American audience wasn't going to just follow an Asian hero. And therein lies a problem, too. Now you can't even bring Hong Kong films here and have them be profitable because nobody wants to follow an Asian character. You know, and that's another thing that kind of annoyed me about the whole thing, is that Bridget Fonda top billed with Jet Li for Kiss of the Dragon, which in my mind is the last and greatest American martial arts film of the last 10, 15 years. I could say arguably, but from all the American martial arts films I've seen, that one's the best one. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you want to come to my house, I'll lend you the DVD. It's a great movie, great martial artist, Jet Li. But that's what happened, is that now for American audiences, all heroes know martial arts, and they train the actors to be martial artists to the point where they can pull it off. And with editing, and I've seen it because I've done a couple independent films, and I'm on set and you see this actor doing the fight scene I choreographed and watching him go, and I'm just like, wow, that's horrible. And then the guy edited it and showed me the edit, and I was like, hey, look, it works. So between editing, training for a film, good fight coordinating, the right camera angles, anybody can be a martial arts champion in a movie with the proper training. And that's what kind of killed it, is that now all heroes are expected to be martial artists. So there's the martial arts film genre is gone. And then to get the really good martial arts movies, the ones from Hong Kong with Donnie Yen and Jet Li and Jackie Chan and a lot of the up and coming guys, Tony Jaa, everything like that. Yes, fanboys will watch it, but nobody else will. And nobody wants to see an Asian action hero. It's horrible. It sucks. Ip Man 2. Those are some of the best martial arts movies ever. Not made in America, made over in China. And it's a tragedy. It really is. Donnie Yen is an international star. He should be a superstar here as well. Yeah, some of his early work, the acting was kind of but once he came here, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Donnie Yen was in Blade 2. He was Snow. He didn't talk at all. From the commentary, they said he couldn't act that well. He helped choreograph some of the fight scenes there. But ultimately, he got so frustrated working here in America that he decided he would never work in America again because he didn't like doing the fights here. He didn't like the action directing. He didn't like the editing thing. He wanted to do it his way, took what he learned here, went back, started making films there, and you got the greatness of Killzone / SPL, Flashpoint. Flashpoint has the best fight scene in the last decade ever put to film. And then on top of that, he just didn't want to come back, so he's gone. Like, he's never coming back. They wanted him to be in Expendables 2 or Expendables 3. He was like, nope. That's what happens. So, the martial arts film genre, is it dead? In America, it is. Because all action heroes now are martial artists, and they get trained for the film. If you really want to see great martial arts films, you got to go with the Asian cinema. You got to go see the Donnie Yen films, the Jet Li films. There's a lot of up and coming guys. There's a new movie called Special ID with Donnie Yen. Kind of but the other guy, whose name escapes me at this moment, who was in that movie, was excellent. Colin Cho, who we fought in Flashpoint. He's an excellent martial artist. A lot of good Asian cinema. If you want to see great martial arts films, that's where you need to go. As far as American martial arts films, from what I've seen, there's none on the slate. There will not be any more. It's a damn shame, but that's the truth of it all. Anyway, if you buy into what I'm talking about, or if you think I'm an idiot, email me and let me know. Comment below. Subscribe. Do whatever you want to do. Let me know what you think. And you guys have a nice one. And until next time.